What's up, guys? Kutter28 here with 4 Next Level Gamers, and today I'm actually going into some Assassin's Creed 3 Deathmatch multiplayer. Thought I'd jump back in, and today we'll be discussing Assassin's Creed 4, as well as the newly mentioned or talked about with the trailer, Assassin's Creed multiplayer, the Wolf Pack. Of which we'll have a special feature up on the website too that you can head over. We'll have the trailers themselves with a bunch of pictures of revealed characters and stuff. But I started off the match pretty well, and I basically wanted to talk about transitioning into the Assassin's Creed 4 series. Now that 3 is done, ended with Desmond, and now they introduce Edward. And to me, Edward, I think, is going to be one of the coolest characters for Assassin's Creed since Ezio, in, I want to say, Assassin's Creed 2. That's where things really started for me, was Assassin's Creed 2. 1 was pretty good, Assassin's Creed 2 was awesome, then you had Brotherhood, Revelations, and then 3 was just not really there for me. I don't know what exactly it was, but I'm just wrapping it up now, to be honest. I'm not even done playing the game. I'm just trying to get through it just to finish and find Desmond's story. So for me, it was just okay, and I'm just waiting for Assassin's Creed 4. And like I said, Edward seems to be one of the coolest characters. They have picked a time era that I think is just going to be outstanding with the whole pirate thing and all that kind of stuff. This is going to be awesome. And they've announced a few things. The assassination contracts are back, which is actually one of my favorite parts of the game. Like I said in previous videos, I tend to wear off from the story and start just doing all the side stuff, and that's where I lose a lot of the focus from the story because I'm just off doing other things. And those assassination contracts are just one of the sweet spots for me, and that's where I'll focus a lot of my time on and kind of taking care of all that stuff. So like I said, awesome character, and the pirate thing itself, the clothing, the atmosphere, the drinking, the booze, the characters. We got Blackbeard and all this kind of cool stuff coming in with Assassin's Creed 4. So I'm hoping with Assassin's Creed 4 it actually lifts everyone's spirits from Assassin's Creed 3. Because Assassin's Creed 3 had mixed reviews. Some liked it, some didn't like it. To be honest, the setting myself, when I first heard it, I thought it was cool. But now that we've played it, it's just the roof lines and everything just doesn't flow the way I liked it when it was Assassin's Creed with Revelations and Assassin's Creed 2. Everything just seemed to run smoother and all that kind of stuff, right? So now that Assassin's Creed 4 is here, and within the video here, Assassin's Creed 4 is being played on the PS4, and it is visually stunning, absolutely stunning. Assassin's Creed 3 and some of the later games are looking awesome, but now with Assassin's Creed 4 and the PlayStation 4, I'm holding off, obviously, to get on the PlayStation 4. It's going to be huge. And here we're taking a look at the map, too, with over 50 locations to travel to. This is going to be one of their biggest worlds. Each game seems to be getting a little bit larger. A lot more to see and a lot more to do. So it's no longer are you focused on like about a 10 to 15, 20-hour game. You're going to be sinking somewhere in around probably close to 40 hours if you're going to do everything, right? That's kind of the deal. How much do you want to accomplish within that? And you're going to see seamless transitions too. Now, what I mean by that is we're going to be going from land to sea to underwater. Now, if you notice in Assassin's Creed 3, you dive into the water with Connor, and all you see is the surface. You don't see below the surface. But with Assassin's Creed 4, everything you're going to see underneath the water, dive under the water. You're going to be fighting off sharks, and just the atmosphere below the surface is going to be something to experience all in itself. And we'll be seeing that here in a few seconds. As he dives into the water, just take a look, and you can see through it, right? It's just, there's more to the system now. Oh, this is about the free aiming that they've added to the combat as well. That's something that's going to be pretty cool. I'm hoping they revitalize the combat system a little bit. Assassin's Creed 3 combat for me was not good. I did not like the combat system. I was not a big fan of it whatsoever. So it kind of threw me off. You could always counter and this and that, but it didn't flow. I didn't feel a good flow to it at all. So I'm hoping the combat is going to be a little bit easier to handle. They've changed the gun mechanic. As before, you just hold down the triangle button and it would automatically lock onto the guy. Well, now you got free aiming for when you're shooting your gun off. So that's something that's going to be different. And from what I think you can do as well, is you can do the dual wielding, which is going to be kind of neat. I'll see how that works as well. But yeah, the free aiming. So obviously they're taking steps to reinvent some of the fighting mechanics in itself. Whether or not that's going to pay off, we can only hope, right? Each iteration seems to differ a little bit. The one thing I really wish they would have, though, is the ability to duck. I don't know how many of you feel this way or not. It's a simple little concept that's never been in the actual games. The way you duck in Assassin's Creed 3 is you go into bushes, and then it crouches. Then your Connor crouches, right? Or I just want to hit a button and have him crouch. I want to sneak around, sneak past, whatever. I want to be crouched. I don't want to say all the time, but at least some of the time, right? Like, you know what I mean? How do you guys? Would you like to crouch? Would that be a good idea to implement into Assassin's Creed 4? You can watch in the trailer. He does crouch, but again, it's in the bushes. Once he hits the bushes, he crouches. In a certain section of that trailer, he shoots a blow dart. And you can see the guy go to the ledge, but he doesn't actually crouch. Where, to me, the first thing I'd be doing is I'd be shooting out the blow dart, and then I'd be crouching down. That's just me. It seems like a simple thing. Every other game I play seems to have the crouch mechanic, when this one doesn't. I don't know, it's just something they just never added. As we're coming up here, we're going to transition, like I said a couple minutes ago, into the reflective water scene. Take a look as he jumps. See, look, you can see right through underneath the surface of the water. It's just, there's more to the next-gen systems. And you're going to experience this on the Xbox One as well, right? And you're going to have the dolphins. You can see the dolphins underneath the surface of the water. It's just so awesome to see where this is going now. I kind of feel this new sensation for the next Assassin's Creed 4. I'm rather excited. Actually, I'm very excited. I hope I'm not kind of fooled. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us were really hyped for Connor and what Connor was bringing to the mechanics of now you're jumping in the trees and all that kind of stuff, because I was psyched. This is awesome, almost like Tarzan jumping through the jungle, right? And that, I gotta say, that is a cool mechanic to have. And they've implemented this into Assassin's Creed 4, which is kind of odd for the timeline and all that kind of stuff. They've also added now, when you synchronize locations, you can fast travel to those points, because they've talked about the world is that big. It's so big now to be traveling all the time. It's not like just when you're with Ezio there, you hop on a horse and you make it from point A to B. So, you know, we'll see how it goes from there. Now, I want to discuss a little bit about the wolf pack that they've just recently talked about too. There's a new trailer out for that. And if anybody's familiar with some of the multiplayer of previous, say, I want to go back to Revelations, actually, and talk about chess capture. Now, here's a couple of characters that they've revealed, the Puppeteer and the Dandy. Everybody, I'm kind of, the Puppeteer reminds me of a few other characters, right? The Dandy, obviously new, the facial paint is a little different than usual. So, interested. There are definitely some cool looking characters that are going to be out. But, yeah, anyways, heading back into the chess capture, where it's kind of like they've replaced it now for Assassin's Creed 3 with domination. And instead of taking the spots and holding down those 3 spots for domination, chess capture was the same, but you'd hover over a chest and recover that area for 3 seconds. Or whatever the little wheel would fill up, right? The little circle. And then you take the point. So it looks like what happens here in the Wolfpack mode is they have taken the chest capture, and as you're hunting down your targets, other targets, or those particular targets, are going to be hunting down for your chest. So you got to protect your chest at the same time. So they've introduced something a little new to that. And what they've also introduced to the multiplayer is the game lab. And the game lab, I think, is where things are really, really going to change for the multiplayer, especially for the competitive side of the multiplayer, because a lot of people are competitive when it comes to multiplayer. That's why it's there. It is there for good time, obviously, but it is it can be very competitive. I know when I lose or get a crappy score, I'm not exactly impressed. So the game lab will allow us to alter almost, I think, pretty well every setting in the game. From the game mode to the scores to how you kill, what abilities you can use, what perks you can use, all those settings. So I know a lot of the focus and a lot of complaints go to everything now is just run. Here's my, and I'm going to pitch this out to the Assassin's Creed community, and I ask if we want to slow things down, right? Because that's what everybody's wanted to do. When we first played Brotherhood, it was a slower paced game until everybody caught on to the fact that we can just bolt it everywhere, right? So if we're looking to slow things down, so why not make everything start off at discreet, build up to silent, and then build up to incognito? Force their hand to stalk the players. Force their hand into stalking down their target, taking their time, instead of just running all over the place and alerting everybody. I don't know if that'll work, but it is an idea to throw out there and see what we can do to kind of get back to where the game was really meant to be. Now this is kind of double-sided. Some feel the game is just fine the way it is, but a lot of us want to kind of slow things down a little bit. So I think this is what the Game Lab will allow us to do, is kind of get back to where it should be. And we're allowed to now to go in and customize everything. So this is going to be cool. I'm sure certain things will be dumb. Some things hopefully will be better than others, right? I know for one they showed off that the only way you could kill anybody was by firing off a gun. And that's how you get your points. Or kills are worth 1 point. 1 whole point. That's it. Not 100 points, not 150 points, just 1 point. So there's a bunch of different ways that the Game Lab will allow us to fix things or break things down. There's two sides to this, right? So we'll see how this pans out. Definitely interested to see how it's going to go. But anyways, guys, the video's wrapping up. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, enjoyed my conversation. Leave me any comments in the description box below, and we'll definitely talk more about the Assassin's Creed 4 and the multiplayer that's coming ahead. And now, as always, I'm Kutter28 with For Next Level Gamers. I'll catch you next level. I'm out.